I support the gay matriarch.
I do not believe.
I support the gay matriarch.
I do not believe in family structure.
We will do things.
I support the gay matriarch. I support the gay. I support the. I support the gay matriarch.
We will do things.
What is up, everybody? Forget the lead music. It's too pornographic for this stream. I am so sorry for the dick music. What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Comedy General Podcast with your host, the Queen Matriarch. I'm pretty sure I could have done that intro way better. So, yeah. Forgive the pigtails, it was the only way I could actually do my own hair with a broken arm. Go figure. Wanted to do something else, I wanted to braid them at least, but didn't quite work out. So, yep, forgive that because it is, well, you know, I'm gonna move my mic a little closer. There we go. Now you can hear my deep, deep feminine voice. Yes, deep. I guess we'll go the old-fashioned route. Yep, goodbye democracy. It's Trump's America now. Yeah, let's see what that's about. I notice how there's not a lot of things about how this is going to affect Palestine. Like, we see a lot about how it's going to affect Russia. I don't know if it's just because of the algorithm basically making it impossible for me to, see anything about Palestine, because it's like, oh, you're... I don't know. But, well, that's probably why, because it's all about Hezbollah now. Nothing about Palestine anymore. Guess we forgot that there's a fucking genocide happening. Oh, well, let's look at that opinion piece. It's a 4-minute read. This is gonna be lovely, everybody. So, give me 1 second. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, and I'm going to begin recording. I think I might start uploading my segments during my breaks or after recording, just because I am such a lazy fucking procrastinator. I'm so lazy. I get off stream and then I never want to do anything else. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and start this recording. So, I have with me here an opinion piece from The Hill by Chris Tro. This was uploaded about 6 hours ago. Opinion, goodbye democracy, it's Trump's America now. So, let's go ahead and see what that's about. I'm gonna go ahead and... There's literally no way to shrink these. Oh, there we go. What about this? Can I shrink that without... There we go. Is there a way to actually... Wait. I'm gonna start the recording over because I'm modifying a setup instead of doing my damn job. Alright. Is there a way to just... Is there a way to actually get rid of this? How do you... There's like no way to... That's just... I don't know. Whatever. Just move that down, keep that down. Alright, so I'm gonna hit that record button again. Alright. Opinion, goodbye democracy, it's Trump's America now. This is an opinion by Chris Tro, whatever his name is. And it's a 4-minute read, and what the fuck did I get on my phone? Oh, notified that I was... Wait. Oh, cool. Alright. So the election is over. Anyone who has read anything I have written for the last 8 years knows that I am appalled by the result, but the people have spoken, and a majority of Americans have willingly returned Donald Trump to the presidency. That's really sad right there. Like, people are more sold by the idea of hatred. The idea that trans people are out to eat your kids and immigrants are consuming pets, you know. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. The people who came in. They're eating they're eating the pets of the people who live there. I think I did that. I think I did it right. Did I do it right? Let's see. Let's see if I did it right. I don't know why I want to be so accurate about it, but it just needs to be accurate. I'm doing a bit, so I need it to be as accurate as possible. I need it to be as, what would I do if I were president? Honestly, executive order. I don't know about executive order, but I'd be doing a lot of cleaning up of all the fascist policies that have been going on as of late. What am I looking for? Donald. I don't know. I feel like I should get this as a soundbite. I don't know. I don't want to buy voice mod though. Wait, no. They're eating. No, I don't want the meme. I want the original. Like, where's the original clip? I don't know. Like, I'm doing a bit, so it has to be, like, accurate, or else I do. Oh my goodness. Ew, I do not know how to spell original. I think it was here.
What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating...
no, the people that came in comes before they're eating the cats. Okay, so if I'm gonna...
They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the dogs. The people that are coming in...
People that came in, they're eating...
The people that came... Wait, what?
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in...
I love Kamala's reaction. Oh my god. It's such obvious bullshit. But it's like the people fell for this lunatic. Oh my god. They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people who live there.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Oh,
and
of the people that live there, not the people who live there. I'll get the bit right someday. Now's not the time. We got to get back into politicking. All right. If we go by book, we're all supposed to acknowledge the election results and cheerfully commit to the fighting the good fight for the next 4 years while looking forward to better times in 2028. I'm not sure I can do that. And it's like, that's true, because I can't do it either. Like, I literally just updated my passport today, so I'm having that mailed out, thankfully, before shithead takes office. I did say that I am planning on leaving the country if things get too bad, and that is true. I'm hoping I don't have to, because then that requires me to clean out my life savings. And that's not to mention the worries about Poilievre, which is the far-right candidate in Canada from Quebec. And he wants to turn the country into a total shithole, too. I don't know if he's anywhere near as bad or as authoritarian as Trump. But then again, Pierre Poilievre is French, and so I can't, like, read all of his policies. Like, some of the shit he says is French, some of it's in English, and he doesn't always translate everything, so I can't, like, come to a full conclusion of just how batshit crazy he is. But I'm hearing from Canadian citizens it's not great. It's not great. So I need a bigger nest egg, so it's like the longer I can push out leaving, like, I have my exit strategy. I know what I'm looking for. That is the criminalization of being trans. Like, if they do what they want to and they make it so that trans people have no First Amendment protections and that we are just like some pornographic display or something, and that we, like, will be arrested, you know, just for trying to take a piss, it's like, okay, then I might look for legislation like that. The banning of gender-affirming care nationwide, and contraceptives, because I am on the depot shot. No, I do not have a uterus. My insurance would not cover the progesterone medication, so I'm on Depo-Provera, and it's administered more or less the same way as birth control. It's every 3 months through injection. It's the same thing. It's birth control, just not used as that for trans women. But like, they go after contraception, that directly impacts me. So I'm looking for things like that. Tariffs. That's the other thing I'm looking at. I am not gonna stay here for the tariffs. I think people are fucking batshit. You see, This is the reason why I feel like I'm such an asset to the socialist movement, because a lot of people, their accusation against socialists is you just don't understand economics. Well, I can tell you right now, I am very well researched on things like the stock market and, like all that other shit. Like, you want to talk to we can talk all day about the stock market. Like, I know a lot more than you think about that. Like, I am very well versed. I am like, so it's like, and what makes it funny is and it's like the fact that I even understand how a fucking tariff works. Like, I can read balance sheets. That's where I'm at. Like, that's where I'm at economically in my understanding of the system. I can read fucking balance sheets. So I know when a company is making massive fucking profits at the expense of their workers. It's a valuable skill to have, it turns out, I've heard. So yeah, no. That accusation would never happen would never hold, and it is for that reason I also know what a tariff is. And a tariff, if Trump gets his way and he gets the worst tariff he wants on Chinese imported goods, everything that you get that has that made in China thing, 100% tariff. If that thing initially costed $100, like say a phone that was made in China, it is now worth $200. That is a $100 tariff, or a 100% tariff. Like, that is, like, yeah, no, this is not, like, you have to be out of your mind. You really think the business is going to eat that up? No. Like, you can't accuse all socialists of not understanding economics. It's because of how much I've researched capitalism and how to actually get ahead that I actually know so much and why I'm so opposed to it. So anyway. So, like, if it ever gets to that bad, when it's like where he starts enacting those tariffs, and there's a ban on gender-affirming care, and I am basically a criminal just by the strike of a gavel in our corrupt courtroom, or whatever policies Trump passes. Like, that's basically my when I know it's time to leave. For now, I'm gonna focus until that time comes on trying to expand my nest egg to be as big as possible, because I don't know how much money I'm going to need in order to be able to make a successful escape, basically. So that's what I'm going to be doing. It's tempting to try to what if this result, for example, what if a ticket featuring Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan and Governor Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania might have done better. But let's give credit where credit is due. Donald Trump is a wolf in wolf's clothing. His voters knew about his disdain for the rule of law and democracy. They knew about his dark impulses and his lust for retribution. How could they not? I am your retribution was one of his slogans. They knew about his conspiracy theories and his lies. They heard the warnings from his own advisors that Trump wanted to rule as a dictator and was a fascist to the core, and they were okay with all this. Many of them relished it. And it is for that reason I do believe America has taken a very terrifying nationalistic turn. And because Trump won the popular vote this time, he feels emboldened, almost like obligated to do everything. He calls it a mandate. I have a mandate from the people to enact this stuff. And he wants to do mass deportations of 5 to 7% of this country. Like, that's just unreal. That is so fucking unreal. Like, I just... And to make matters worse, there are people out there going onto the... who, like, the slogan, "Your body, my choice," is alive and well. It is back. We heard it once with the overturning of Roe v. Wade when a bunch of incel douchebags decided they wanted to show how much of a suspected rapist they could be by saying your body, my choice. Like, if you're unironically going out there and holding signs like that, I would want to stay as far away from you as possible. Not because you have an opposing opinion that abortion is wrong, but because I've been assaulted before, and to have that kind of mentality is almost incredibly rapey. And for my own protection, I would never want to be around you. Your body, my choice? That is disgusting. And I would hope if my mother ever caught me saying that kind of shit, she would beat the fuck out of me. Like that, like I would unironically, like, hope she, like, holy fuck. Like, this is the environment that we're falling back down. Like, if you have a uterus, you're back to being a second-class citizen. If you're an immigrant, you're back to being the, quote, enemy, the poisoning the blood of the nation. If you're trans, you're obviously eating and butchering children. And if you're gay or whatever, well, just know your place. You're not going to get married, but we're not going to do anything about it, even though they're like, they want to, like, they want to overturn, I think it was Lawrence v. Texas. I don't remember if that was that the one that legalized gay marriage or legalized sodomy, quote unquote. I don't like that word, but Lawrence v. Texas. This was in 2003. Okay, so yeah, state laws criminalizing, and they, like, this one of the Supreme Court members, as soon as they overturned Roe v. Wade, unironically suggested revisiting Lawrence v. Texas. So because you're having the wrong sex, they want to fucking lock you up. That is so disgusting. And people are voting for this. Like, one of the reasons that I'm okay now, why my mental health is... Okay, my mental health is not good. I'm not gonna lie. I am a wreck, but one of the reasons I'm even able to hold myself together is because government ain't in my house. I can do whatever the fuck I want. But if the government's gonna try to crack down on people engaging in consensual activity with consensual adults, then that is an incredible invasion of privacy. And for my own protection and my partner's protection, we would need to flee the country. So I guess that's another thing we got to look out for, is if Lawrence v. Texas is overturned. And gender also, like in New York State we have gender. One of the ways in which trans people would be fucked over on a nationwide level by the Supreme Court is if someone in New York State challenged the Gender Expression Non-Discrimination Act. If that ended up in the Supreme Court, the overwhelming majority being anti-trans, they would strike it down. And New York would no longer be able to enforce protections for trans people, and it would basically trickle down to the rest of the country. So in 2016, we could all pretend that Trump was an aberration. Not this time. People knew exactly what they were voting for. Exactly. You knew exactly what you were fucking voting for. You chose mass deportations. You chose ethnic cleansing. You chose vitriol. You chose all these horrible things. And it's so awkward now. I can't go outside anymore without questioning who around me wants me dead. Who around me wants me in prison because I'm trans. And I live in a fucking blue state. I live in New York. Like, I'm in upstate, in the capital region. We obviously went to the correct choice. But it wasn't enough. We're only one state. Much as I would like to say the Electoral College needs to be abolished, which it fucking does, it wouldn't have helped us this time around, because Trump won the popular vote. 2016, we could all pretend that, okay, Democrats are going to look at the results and conclude that demagoguery is the future. If that's what people want, why not give it to them? And the future Democratic demagogue is probably already in elected office right now. Don't imagine that Democratic politicians who stood up to Trump couldn't possibly become Trump. Political ambition helped demagoguery take over the Republican Party in just a few years. There's no reason it can't do the same to Democrats. And you know what that demagoguery needs to be? Leftist, populist policies. I'm not even saying you go full-on commie. Like, I'll be honest, it would be nice, you know, if we could have a little worker-owned means of production. It would be nice, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. So, I feel like a more, like, at the moment, social democracy, you know, it'll be easier to argue for that than full-on socialism. At the moment, you need to get people to realize that left-wing policy is the only way forward if we're going to actually save our planet and prevent fascism from taking over. But in order to do that, you need to run on wages, you need to run on unions, you need to run on all this shit, and people will rally behind you. I mean, Bernie fucking Sanders ran a goddamn masterpiece of a campaign, and because there was a path to him winning and people rallying behind social democracy, they're like, oh, well, we are a capitalist society, and if there's a chance that this could lead to communism or something, then we gotta stomp it out, and blah 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 blah. And so Bernie didn't win the primary. He got undercut by the Democratic establishment. So since then, we've descended into fucking chaos. The far right has been empowered beyond anything. Like when I was growing up, the world was awful. But compared to what it was now, I want to go back. I want to go back to where it's like people were more along the lines of, oh, I don't agree with you being trans or gay, but I don't want you dead. Like, I would like to go back to that. But I don't think those days are coming back anymore. We might be dealing with this for a long fucking time. I, of course, have no interest in putting my life on hold for the sake of fascism. You want to be fascist, and then you want to vote for this shit, and you want to suffer. I'm not going to be your punching bag to suffer more than you. Fuck off. And I'm straight up going to let you suffer here. You want to vote for fascism, then bye-bye, bitch. My mom wants to get a passport too, so I'm going to help her with that. I'm going to pay for it as well. Democrats are going to look at these results. No. This goes double since the likely chaos of the last 2 years of Trump's upcoming term may become fertile ground for a populist demagogue, billionaire who flouts the laws that apply to everyone else and hands out pardons and special deals to his cronies. While ordinary people suffer is a tempting foil if you want to whip up popular anger. For 250 years, we have had this this quaint notion that democracy was an end in itself. But all good autocrats know that democracy is just a tool to be discarded when it is no longer useful. I'm afraid we may have reached that point in America. And it's true. How many times do we have to tell you? Like, the government, like, the president now has unchecked fucking power. Unchecked power. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. The Supreme Court ruled that just a few months ago. And the fact that he got his ass shot, you really think he's not going to operate with some kind of vengeance? Enemies from within, what are we talking about? So, Trump is very open about his belief that the only fair election is an election he wins. Exactly. You notice they're not complaining that the election is rigged? Because they won. They won fair and square. The left's not saying it because we see the popular vote. And the right's not saying it because in their mind it's only rigged if they lose. So his running mate J.D. Vance has said much the same thing. Assuming Trump does not run for a third term, an idea he has floated in the past, Vance is likely to be the Republican nominee in 2028. It's funny, assuming Trump does not run for a third term, but it's like we have term limits. And it's like, so he can't run for a third term. But are we sure about that? Because I'm pretty sure Trump said something about abolishing term limits. Which I find base, by the way. I like the idea of abolishing term limits because if there's ever a chance that a populist left politician comes up, something like FDR, and starts just enacting pro-worker policy left and fucking right, they'll never be voted out of office. I think the only reason term limits were established is because of the fact that FDR kept winning so fucking much, and they didn't want to risk another situation where it's like, oh no, we'll never win because we rich fuckwits are actually a small minority of the population, and the population wants this asshole who is taking away all our money. It's really just don't so let's see. Given the amount of power Trump plans on accumulating as president, it's hard to imagine Trump and the people around him shrugging their shoulders and walking away from the presidency simply because they lose an election. Exactly. I question what that's going to look like in 2028. Like, what is it going to look like when, like, we've already seen this movie before, called 2016 and the Adventures of Shithead. It didn't end well, because at the end of the movie, in 2020, or 2021, it ended with an attempt to overthrow the government. They can say it all they want that it wasn't that way, but listen, Nazis denied their atrocities as well. Oh, I was just following orders. You were just following orders? Okay. And? Your point? Still killed millions of people. Did you not have a conscience? Oh, but I could have lost my own life. Okay. And? Like, you're actually going to kill millions of people because, like, you do realize that there are ways for you to actually achieve asylum, and, fun fact, you also did not have to vote for these scumbags. Yeah, people forget that the Nazis actually won votes. They won elections. They weren't anti-democratic at first. It wasn't until later on in the descend into the Deutsche Reich, that they started having their anti-democratic tendencies be known when they were enacting voter intimidation, such as literal violence. Today we have bomb threats and literal arson, and people sitting at voter polls with their guns drawn, antagonizing protesters. Like, we have that. Hitler got a bunch of his cronies into much of the judicial system, if I'm not understanding properly. Because even in Nazi Germany, before shit fully hit the fan, Jews still had rights. But the problem is that the judges were Nazi sycophants, and so they did not enforce the law. They enforced Hitler's ideology. And so the Jews never really had a fair trial. And that is essentially what Trump wants to do to migrants. You don't have to provide a court case to deport people you claim are part of a drug cartel. And how are you going to determine... Then how are you going to determine who is a drug cartel? Skin color? Maybe their mustache looks a little too Mexican for you? Is that how you're going to determine who's part of a drug cartel? It's ridiculous, people. It's really fucking ridiculous. But that's what Trump wants to do. And in regards to the Nazis installing their own cronies, Trump wants to do that. Dismantle the entire administrative state and establish and rebuild it from the ground up with Trump loyalists. It's not good. I've heard. I've heard bad things, terrible things about the coming next 4 years. In the meantime, every presidential outrage, every abuse of power, every special favor will be lovingly chronicled by Democrats and engraved in their political hearts when their turn at power comes, as it inevitably will someday. This will all be licensed to extract, their own retribution, and they will. Why should Democrats be the only mugs to play by the rules? The cycle of abuse. So I'm going to pause right here, just highlight this so I know where to pick off. The Democrats have been turning a little further right. Like, one of the reasons they lost this election is because, I'll be honest, they're not perfect. They're not perfect. Now, the third party vote was mostly driven, I believe, by Palestine. I unironically got accused of supporting genocide because I voted Kamala. But it's like, here's the thing. The amount of people, like, even if that were the case, you can't blame the third-party people, because last I've checked, even if they all voted Democrat, 100% accuracy, voted Democrat, it would not have mattered. We did this math the other day, but it's 0.5 plus point... Oh, it's changed. So 0.6. 1.6. So let's pull out the mathulator. Alright, so 1.6 plus... What was it? 47.7. So 49.3, and then we're going to go ahead and subtract from that 50.7. Harris wins by over the margin of error. Not over the margin of error, by over the amount that would be necessary to declare a recount. On average. So 1.4. Any individual state falls below 1%, I think it's automatically declared a recount. The nation, 1.4 difference. And that is if every single Jill Stein voter or third-party voter instead voted for Kamala. Like, it was just hive mind, 100%, not a single person, not a single vote. Like, this number, 0, and those votes went here. She may have been a little bit closer to winning the popular vote, but it still would not have made a difference in the Electoral College. Is essentially the thing I'm trying to get at here. So, yeah. But that's, of course, 80% of the popular vote, so... Nevada's expected to go to Trump, and so is Arizona. It's very, very funny how that is. House, on the other hand, we're a little bit closer to total Republican rule. 7 seats away before we are cooked. And I think they may have the 7. Like, they have 1. That's gonna be recounted. I think that's gonna be recounted. But yeah, it's not looking good at the national level, guys. Governorship is already controlled by Republicans, 27 to 23. House, still don't know yet. U.S. Senate, Republican majority. President, Republican controlled. So. Okay. The cycle of abuse and outrage will go on because neither side will trust the other. Too late. I already did not feel safe going outside today. It was so fucking awkward. It really was. What I said earlier about not knowing whether or not people would want me dead, it's true. Like, my area is not a fucking hive mind. They got a lot of votes for Trump. In fact, if I went to the area, Capital District, Kamala Harris beat Trump in a landslide in Albany, in Schenectady. Kamala Harris beat Donald Trump again in a landslide in Rensselaer County. Kamala Harris, ooh, Rensselaer, what is wrong with you? You just barely went to fucking Donald Trump, to Kamala Harris? Y'all are fucking crazy. But anyway, yeah, so. Ooh, Tompkins is hard blue. Like, they fucking crush shithead. But, landslide in Lewis, Wyoming, Allegheny, Orleans. So. It's like, I just can't look at my fellow citizens the same way again, knowing that they voted for this. But it's like, I'm just... Like, 52,000.5 people from Albany and 31,000. Like, I specify these two cities because these are, like, the places I've been, like, you know, the most, so... And, like, down here, knowing that... Wait, I wish there was a way to zoom in. Like, I've been here before. That's Manhattan, to know that it oh my god, it fucking crushed. She fucking crushed Donald Trump. Almost 500,000 votes. But I still have the knowledge of knowing that, 100, 350, 550, 675, I guess. Where was the other one? There was one more. And that would bring me to what? What is that? 575 plus, or 675 plus 90. 765. Okay, yeah. So basically 765 million people in Manhattan voted for this shithead. That's what I gotta live with, knowing that there's that many of these people in this state. Oh my god. What have we fallen into? So, once democratic trust in your fellow citizens is lost, it isn't really regained. This is how it happened in Nazi Germany. Once everybody was turned around, or was turned on each other, shit went south. Perhaps I am being too cynical. Perhaps I too have been infected by Trump's apocalyptic vision of America. But even if it does not come to pass, the future I envision is possible, even probable, and that alone is indictment enough. The election was fair and free, and I will honor the results because I can do no other. But I do not think we will be able to say the same thing 4 years from now. The center cannot hold. Yeah, like, let's be honest. Liberalism does seem to be fucking dying. Like, no more. People no longer want to hear this bullshit about how, oh, love and trust the corporations, for they know what's good for you. And on the right, the response to that is, no, I'm not gonna trust the corporations because DEI and trans people, so deport Mexicans. And then on the right and on the left, it's raise the minimum wage and more job openings and redistribute wealth to the poor. And then on the further left, you have people like me, where it's like, no, we just need worker-owned means of production because. But it's like, at the end of the day, everybody's sick of liberalism. Everybody fucking hates liberalism. And we all know how this works. When liberalism dies, there's two options. Socialist revolution, fascist revolution. People obviously are not in the mood for socialism. They view that as violent, but what's going on right now is not viewed as violent. And we literally have a fascist takeover. Like, you really think that this has you're falling for the illusion of democracy here when Trump now has unchecked power and every branch of government from head to toe is going to be filled with Trump's cronies. Like, democracy is dead. We waited too long, folks. We waited too long to move to a different economic system, and the fascists have taken over. The capital class has essentially... It's not good. It's not good. So yeah. Yeah, if you're if you enjoyed this segment, feel free to hit the like button, share it on socials, and subscribe to my channel. And thank you for watching. Oh, I need to get better at plugging my Patreon at the end of these segments. I think I'm gonna go ahead and upload that now because I'm such a massive fucking procrastinator. I always not do things. So, aujourd'hui est novembre 8, 2024. Let's see. What am I going to call this one? What should I call this? Goodbye, democracy. I guess goodbye, democracy. There we go. Waited too long. There we go. I like that. Now I need to... Do I really not have a thing? Is this everything? Yes, okay. We're gonna take that. I'm gonna post that here. There. Playlist, we're gonna move that into segments. Done. Make sure it's public. No, it's not made for kids. Doesn't necessarily need to be age restricted per se, but it's not made for kids. Checks, it'll do its thing. Public. Publish. Okay. Think I'm done with that one. So now I gotta find more content. So. Oh, that's why that didn't upload, so I'm gonna resume that then. Later. So I guess this is the reason why there's been nothing about Palestine lately. Like, nobody says jack shit about fucking Palestine. So we're about to go into... It's all about Hezbollah now because Israel is invading fucking Iran. Fun days. Fun days. Russia invades Ukraine in 2022. Israel starts a genocide in... I was gonna say, my camera fucking die. Thank God I have backup batteries now. But anyway, Israel begins a genocide in Gaza. And America, the beacon of the so-called superior nation, the nation above nations, the image of what a Western democracy should look like, has fallen to fascism. Yeah, fun times. All right, let's see how this like. So apparently, these are images of what you're seeing here is missiles. I guess have been launched. Oh shit! These are missile strikes. Jesus Christ! 2 Israeli missile bases destroyed. Good. Hezbollah missile salvo hit Israel's Stella Maris naval base and Eliakim base. Excuse me. Hezbollah hit the naval base northwest of Haifa, disrupting Israel's naval operations. Trump is gonna obviously make this so much fucking worse. He's gonna get us involved in this shit. Eliakim base, a major training facility for Israel's Northern Command, was damaged by a heavy missile barrage. Jesus Christ, look at all that destruction.
תיזהר. זה שתי רכבים, תיזהר, שומע? אני אפתח את הצינור השני.
Oh, fuck. I'm fucking ADHDing my ass off over here. Both bases are vital for Israel defense, making Hezbollah's strikes a severe blow to Israel. Well, it's a good thing Trump was elected. He's gonna help him out there. Rocket salvos targeted northern Israeli settlements, including... Oh no, it really did die. Fuck. Including Manara and Kiryat Shmona. Alright, give me 1 second, guys. I gotta replace the battery in my camera. It just died. I need a new battery. We're all set. Okay, I'm back. That didn't take long. Glad my replacement batteries showed up. Okay, where was I? Rocket salvos targeted northern Israeli settlements, including Manra and Kiryat Shmona. Once again, we're getting another view of the missile strikes. Advancing near the town of Yorum, inflicting casualties. These were the Hezbollah fighters. They ambushed the Israeli forces, I guess. Ooh, fireworks. Is it the 4th of July? The attacks come after Israel launched... God, get back up there. Launched a ground assault and air campaign against Lebanon in late September. Well, if you're gonna invade sovereign fucking nations... I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't believe in national sovereignty, but they believe in it. So if you're gonna invade people who you know, view themselves as a sovereign nation, then you're gonna expect them to fucking fight back. Maybe stop trying to engage in endless wars that you can't handle. You know, stop bringing, like, get out of Gaza, get out of the West Bank. Like, is that a reasonable request? What do you think? You think that's a reasonable request, Mr. Benny Boy? Because I don't think you want. But then again, I think you're more emboldened now because Trumpy Bear got elected. You two are gonna be best friends. I think you're gonna be making out a lot. I feel like, I don't know. Is Trump gonna be in a relationship between like Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu? Who's the bottom? Who's on the bottom? Is it Trump? Is Trump like doing the bottoming? Is he like sucking all the dicks? Like, what is Trump doing? Or is Benjamin Netanyahu? Well, no. I think it's Benjamin Netanyahu who is topping. He is the genocidal maniac after. I mean, Trump's kind of getting there, but he hasn't actually engaged in a legitimate, like, killing massive people style genocide. He's engaged in mass deportations in his first term. Not as big as the ones he's about to engage in this term, but he's not quite there yet in terms of mass murder. Benny Boy, quite there. I think he's topping Trump right now. I think Trump is bottoming bottoming like the bitch he is for Netanyahu. They're gonna make out so nicely. It's gonna be so beautiful, guys. UN reports over 3,000 fatalities from Israeli strikes in Lebanon. Hezbollah has conducted hundreds of retaliatory strikes targeting military installations and civilian areas. Come on, Hezbollah. I'm rooting for you. Okay, that was a joke. That was a joke. I know what they are. I know they're a terrorist organization. I'm well aware of that. But still, like, stay away from civilian areas. The civilians want no part of this. Like, that's kind of the point here. Like, we think the vast majority of Israelis want this fucking war, and it may be true that there might be a slight majority, but it's probably more in line with what we have here. But, you know, it only looks like it's a landslide majority because the people who don't want the fucking war aren't allowed to goddamn speak their mind in fucking Israel. So it's not like we're allowed to hear what they have to say. But it's like, stay away from the citizens. The citizens want nothing to do with this. I mean, even if it's a majority case, let's just still innocent till proven guilty. Let's just stick with that. I know you're Hezbollah and you don't really agree with innocent till proven guilty, but still. I don't think it's a good thing, I've heard. You know. Missile attack on Eliakim threatens the operational readiness of Israel's northern command troops. So that sounds fun. The conflict's escalation raises concerns of broader regional involvement in a potential wider war. Is that insensitive?
Elohim.
The group vows to continue its attacks until Israel halts its military actions in southern Lebanon. Is Israel gonna do it? Probably not, and until they do it, it's gonna look something like this.
תיזהר. זה שתי רכבים, תיזהר, שומע? נפתח את הצינור השני.
Don't miss out.
Benjamin
Log on
Netanyahu is going to get his opinion out, and it's going to sound something like this. What a world we live in, guys. We have a clown in who took over the White House. We have a clown about currently in the middle of a genocide and invading other nations. We have a clown that is such a fucking fascist that he wants to literally destroy Ukraine. I think the only person that we have to look forward to is maybe Bernie Sanders. He might save us.
I support the gay matriarchy.
Thanks, Bernie. We love you too. I know Barack Obama, he still stands for good things.
We will do things.
So thank you, Bernie. But as we all know, the fascist states of America, everybody. There we go. Sounds about right. I had fun with my little sound bites right there. I love it. I have a lot of fun on this show. It's like the best thing ever. Well, anyway, I guess I'm gonna end the segment right here. If you're enjoying the show so far, feel free to hit that like button, hit that share button. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, link in the description, you can hit the like button, share the segment. It helps me reach more people and get the message out there. Try to pull as many people out of the gutter as possible. Thank you for watching, and we love you here at the Comedy General Podcast. Alright, I think I got that one. That one I think I did way better closing out. Oh. My Goodbye Democracy You Waited Too Long video is now fully updated, so that's good. Guess I'll go ahead and upload this one too. Yeah. Hezbollah strikes Israel. Wait, no, what the fuck? That'll be the title name. What? So, we want this one. Copy. Don't need the hyphens. Don't know why I put those there in the first place. Probably because I was searching for a file without, Strikes Israel after... Wait. Destroying military bases. Wait, Hezbollah at... destroys military targets. In Israel. I'm gonna go ahead and... Nope. Still need the other thing. Put that here. Da. No, not made for kids. Put that in segments. Next, checks, public, publish. Oh, alright. Gonna go ahead and upload that there. Yeah, so, that probably explains why we're not seeing a lot of Palestinian content, because it's all about Hezbollah now, babies. It's all about Hezbollah now. Hezbollah is the hot new kid in town, being the badasses they are, standing up for fucking Palestine. I'm kidding. I know they're terrorists. Can I not joke around on my own damn stream? Alright. Racist text messages reported in multiple states after Election Day? Let's see what this is about. Racist text messages reported in multiple states after Election Day. Officials in a number of states are responding to reports of racist texts received by residents in the days after 2024 election. The Virginia Attorney General's office told ABC News it is aware of these text messages and unequivocally condemns them. Why am I not fucking surprised? Why am I not surprised? Let's see. Deport 20 million migrants. Oh, that'll do it. That'll do it, because they voted for that. Understood. Okay. Say no further. The office confirmed that the text language corresponds with a text reportedly received by an employee at ABC affiliate 13 News Now in Norfolk, Virginia, which read... this one. This one. Oh, I'm not reading that one. That is just disgusting. I'm not even reading that. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'll highlight it for you. If you want to fucking read that, be my guest. But I'm not reading that. I am not fucking reading that. I'll highlight it for you. So go ahead, and I'll pause right here for about 15 seconds. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Minuteur sur 15 secondes. It's not gonna acknowledge my voice. It's probably 15. I don't know what the fuck it is. It's either 15 or 15. Alright, I think that's about 15 seconds. You can always pause if it's not enough, if you need more time. The office urges anyone who believes they are under threat to contact local law enforcement as well as their local FBI field office. They cannot confirm or deny whether an investigation was taking place. See, this is just disgusting. See, this is the kind of shit that we, this is why, this is what the country's devolving into. And it was like that when Trump was first elected in his 2016, bid. Like, when he was elected, there was a lot of this shit, too. As of 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Thursday, cell phone users in at least 9 cities. New York! Atlanta, Charlotte, Raleigh, Houston, Huntsville, Texas, Los Angeles, Norfolk, Virginia, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, reported receiving the messages. Jesus Christ. In fucking New York. New York Attorney General Letitia James said in a statement that her office is looking into the text that she says was targeting the New Yorkers, including middle school, high school, and college students. I unequivocally condemn any attempt to intimidate or threaten New Yorkers and their families. I encourage anyone in New York who has received an anonymous, threatening text to report it to my office. She said in the statement, which linked her... you see, this is one thing I liked about what Kamala Harris said. She said, you can say you're not a fucking Nazi all you want, but you're telling on yourself. You're saying it yourself. We're not calling you a Nazi. We're giving you rope to hang yourself with. And you're doing a great job at doing that. You're fucking hanging yourself with every rapey comment you make about your body, my choice. You're fucking hanging yourself with every racist comment you make about immigrants. You're fucking hanging yourself, and we're just giving you the rope to fucking do it. It's great. I love it. Based and red-pilled. The North Carolina Department of Justice told ABC News that it is working with the federal and industry partners to investigate the source of the robotext. The office is also encouraging North Carolinians to report such texts to the state's DOJ office and local law enforcement. The FBI said in a statement that it is unaware of the suspicious messages and is in contact with the Justice Department and other federal authorities on the matter. So they're really, this is a big fucking thing. They're actually really going in on this. The fucking FBI is in on this shit. The fucking FBI. They are taking this shit really fucking seriously because this is real. This is real. This is happening in America. The land of the free, the nation above nations, the shining image of what a Western democracy needs to look like. A spokesperson for the Federal Communications Commission said in a statement, "Our Enforcement Bureau is aware of these and is looking into them alongside federal and state law enforcement. Mass disparaging texts were also reported to local news in outlets located in Ohio, Michigan, Alabama, Wisconsin, and South Carolina." In an online statement, Clemson University State Department in South Carolina said it received reports of students receiving text messages containing disparaging language from unrecognized numbers. This is crazy, guys. This is fucking crazy. Like, this is happening in fucking New York State. Or in New York State. Like, we literally saw that. It said New York, which I'm assuming they meant the city. But the city is usually what people think of when they hear New York. And this, I'm willing to bet, happens everywhere in New York. Like, we have our rights here, but they still do get violated all the fucking time by people. You know what I mean? So, where are we? The numbers have been determined to be associated with online spoofing sites. CUPD is actively investigating the matter and working with the state partners to identify the source of the messages. Read the statement. The department said there is no indication of a credible threat to members of the local community and also urged recipients to report to text. Civil rights organizations NAACP condemned the messages, saying they will fight against letting hateful rhetoric be normalized. These messages represent an alarming increase in vile and abhorrent rhetoric from racist groups across the country who now feel emboldened to spread hate and stoke the flames of fear that many of us are feeling after today's election results, the organization said. See, these people, they hate you. They hate us all. They want us dead. I know I'm sounding too much like Vosh, but I unironically, I'm sure Vosh is just being like hyperbolic when he says it, but I unironically believe it. I actually unironically believe that these people would have no problem if we just died, if we all just disappeared. I know Vosh plays shit up to, to be entertaining for the audience, and he very successful, but I believe it. I unironically believe it. These people are psychopaths. So.
Racist text messages sent in more than a dozen states. Investigation over alarming racist text messages sent in more than a dozen states. Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas has the story. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. It's a mystery as to who sent those racist text messages to people around the nation in recent days.
I'll tell you.
Authorities in more than a dozen states say residents, including children, received texts from unknown numbers telling them they've been selected to, quote, pick cotton. Sam Burwell in Virginia got one and says he was shocked to see the sender knew his name. Mr. Burwell is an African-American, as are many of the other victims. His text reading, be ready at 12 p.m. sharp with your belongings. Our executive slaves will come get you in a brown van. Be prepared to be searched down once you enter the plantation. You're in Plantation Group W. The sender's numbers were visible, and the New York Attorney General says some of the texts were targeting middle school,
like, if you
high
have
school,
any
and college
friends, or, if you're a black person and you have a friend that talks like this, immediately cut him off. You don't need that kind of shit around you. It's for the same reason. Like as a trans woman, if I have anybody in my friend circle calling me a fucking man and refusing to, I did this with my grandmother. I cut her out of my life. Not entirely. I still occasionally maintain contact, but I don't go and visit her like I used to because she just refuses to acknowledge me as who I am. Everybody else does. In my family, everybody else does. But she just can't let go of the past. So, yeah, you need to cut these people out of your life. For your own safety, for your own sanity. Just do it. Just fucking do it. Get it over with. Get it over with. It'll hurt. It'll hurt, but later on down the road, you'll realize you made the right choice.
Students. The company TextNow, a service that allows people to create phone numbers for free, says it's aware of the messages and that it has shut down the accounts of those involved.
I'll bet you they're on fucking Telegram.
Is investigating, but it's not clear if the source is domestic or foreign. Rebecca?
All right, Pierre, thank you for your reporting on that.
So this is some real fun shit. Real fun territory. I'm looking forward to the American Reich. I'm ready. I'm ready. See, I'm not exactly worried about the safety of me or my partner. I'm more worried about the Nazis that try to fuck with us. Like, I don't know what I'm capable of, but what I do know is I'm a crazy, psychotic, dangerous person to fuck with. Like, you come at me screaming, I don't know what I'm gonna do. and you will never know either. You're just gonna have to find out, and I don't think anybody wants to find that out. All I know is I am a crazy psychopath with no regard for human life. I don't even know what a human life is. I don't even know what human life looks like. They say it begins at conception. Some people also say life is a heartbeat. I say life is an illusion that can, I don't know. I'm not gonna Fed post, even if it is joking. But anyway, yeah. So and yet I joked about fucking Hezbollah and shit. Yeah, too late. I already digged my hole. Everybody's already gonna clip chimp me. She said she supports Hezbollah. Yeah, that sounds about right. But anyway. Well, I think I am done here. So, if you liked this segment, feel free to like and subscribe. I am trying to do these more regularly and, try not to procrastinate with uploading my fucking segments. So, if you enjoy what you see, feel free to like and subscribe. Do feel free to follow me on Patreon. Once I hit 5 followers there, I am going to do private shows. So also do feel free to check my Discord. You'll know when I am going live, because I post in the show announcements when I'm going live. So definitely don't miss out on that. We're trying to build a really nice community there. And yeah, hope to see you around. We'll engage in some really nice conversations. So thanks for watching. Bye. Oh my goodness. It's just another day. It's just another day, guys. So I'm gonna go to YouTube and upload it. I'm gonna go ahead and play the music, because after I finish uploading it, I am gonna go to break. So upload video. Catchy music, guys. Love it. What's this one? Talked about on that one. I literally. What it was about. Oh right, racist text messages, right? Racist text messages sent out to people black and I guess migrants. Should I say migrant voters? Because I know if you become a citizen, you can still achieve citizenship. You can still vote. But I think I'm just gonna do what I was originally gonna say. VIPOC voters. Is that there? Post this in segments. officials in a number of states are responding to reports of racist texts received by residents. Just do it. Just... Is? Wait. She said she... I don't think... See, I'm not exactly worried about the safety of me. See...
Phone numbers for free says it's aware of the
Oh
messages.
no, that's about how
and
it
that has
sounds.
shut
Okay.
down the
That's
accounts
about
of
right.
those involved.
I just don't want my voice to be out-competed by the sound, but I also don't want the sound to be out-competed by my voice. I want it to be right around equal, so it's a good thing that all works, so. Alright, well, I'm gonna go ahead and take my break, and I shall be back. Thank you for watching. If you're enjoying the show, feel free to like my stream, and if you're watching on YouTube, and share the stream. It really helps in terms of like beating the algorithms and reaching more people. So yeah. And with that, I bid thee adieu pour le moment. What's up, everybody? We are back.
I support the gay matriarchy. I support the gay. I support the gay matriarchy.
Thank you, Bernie. We love you.
We will do things.
Thanks, Obama. We love the fact that you support the things.
I do not believe in the family structure.
Yeah, I know, Ted Cruz. Let's hear that again, shall we?
I do not believe in the family structure.
There you have it, guys. My fucking sparkling water just exploded. Excuse me. I want to bring attention to this one YouTuber I've been kind of watching the fuck out of. Let me see if I can get to my history, folks. This is not my history. Wait, history's over here. Derp.
Movement.
So this person's called Bean Thinking, and she has a kind of a good opinion on things. I'm actually gonna turn everything up to like 90. So, because I feel like, I don't know. Or maybe 95 should work. And then I'll hit record, and then we'll begin this segment here. So, yeah, this girl from the channel Bean Thinking, she went through kind of a very similar analysis as what I went through on my channel earlier, where I basically, we discussed violent government structures and religious, religious systems of oppression. We also went into great detail about Germany, Hitler's rise to power, and his speech patterns, identifying euphemisms and dog whistles. I think it was a great segment. Go check it out. On my YouTube channel, you can find it. Link in the, so I think it's very good. So yeah, I'm gonna hit record, and we are gonna go ahead and look at this segment, shall we? So this video is titled "Yes, Trumpism is Fascist Politics" by Bean Thinking, and she has 1.07k subscribers, which just yeah, so she's a very small YouTube channel. 1.07k. Yeah. That's like that's 1,070 subscribers. She's small. Maybe one day I could invite her on the show. I don't know, maybe she might be willing to talk more about this, and because I went into this too, so let's hear what she has to say.
It is not an exaggeration to say that here in the US, we are slipping into fascist politics, and you don't have to take my word for it. Hey, I'm Asante, and here's what I've been thinking. Lest you think I'm exaggerating, I want to actually give a definition of fascism. Merriam-Webster defines fascism as a populist political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nation and often race above the individual, that is associated with a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, and that is characterized by severe economic and social regimentation and by forcible suppression of opposition. So
and as we all know, like one of my my biggest things about my biggest comparison is usually Nazi Germany. I usually default to Nazi Germany because it is the most intense and most accurate, the easiest comparison to draw. Just because I know quite a bit about the Nazi rise to power. I mean, I don't know everything, but I do know enough to know that the Nazis rose to power similar to what we're dealing with here in America. Violent voter suppression at the state level and at the civil level. Demonizing rhetoric, vilifying marginalized communities on the campaign trail, such as what we listened to in his why are we anti-Semitic speech, or in Hitler's Why Are We Anti-Semitic speech, we noticed that there was a lot of populist rhetoric concerning jobs and the economy. There was also the mythologized past of the nation, and there was also something else in terms of like the demonizing rhetoric of the Jewish population, saying that they were the leeches sucking off the blood of the nation. Sound familiar? Sound familiar? What sounds familiar? What sounds familiar? Michaela, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't know. That's a good question. The fact that I have to point that out to you makes me want to do something along the lines of... But just because I'm a nice person and I want to make you feel welcome here, I am going to say something along the lines of, well, Trump said something along the lines of how immigrants are poisoning the blood of the nation. So, yeah, there you go. There you go. Don't know what else to tell you, like Trump and his
I
goonies.
do not believe in the family structure.
They're going to make absolutely certain that this country falls, and it falls hard. But fascism can't really sustain itself. I mean, Nazi Germany fell when Hitler shot himself. Like when Nazi Germany fell, it was hard. It sounded a little bit something like this. And maybe a little bit something like this. I don't know. But what you do know is Hitler was a total... Yeah, so...
That's the general
I'm
dictionary
getting a little
definition.
too happy
I also
with
bring in the
those
work of a scholar
sound
that
bites. I
studies
really should
fascist
stop.
rhetoric
I'm
and
sorry.
threatening for a living. So this is an excellent read by Jason Stanley, How Fascism Works. Quick read,
I
very readable,
support
highly
the gay
recommend.
matriarch.
I'll just read you his
Oh,
overview
sorry.
from the introduction.
I
And by the
lied.
way, this is from 2018, so before our current election season. Fascist politics includes many distinct strategies: the mythic past, propaganda, anti-intellectualism, unreality, hierarchy, victimhood, law and order, sexual anxiety, appeals to the heartland, and a dismantling of public welfare and unity. Though a defense of certain elements is legitimate and sometimes warranted, there are times in history when they come together in one party or political movement. These are dangerous moments. In the United States today, Republican politicians employ these strategies with more and more frequency. Their increasing tendency to engage in this politics should give honest conservatives pause. And I'll make the point that I'm not mapping being liberal.
And one of the things we don't realize is the 2008 financial crisis has a lot to do with this. A lot. What do I mean by this? One of the ways in which Nazi Germany was able to gain so much fucking power is because of the fact that the nation was in an actual legitimate decline that the fucking people in power were pointing to. I mean, a loaf of bread was fucking... How much? I think it was like 160 Deutsche Marks. It was horrible. $160, and I fucked up the math that day. I said it was like 300 300 USD at the time, but it was actually more like 80. It would have been the equivalent of 80 USD. But still, $80 fucking dollars for a loaf of bread. That shit cost me fucking $3. Still expensive, but it's not no fucking $80. So it's understandable why Germany was looking for answers. They wanted solutions. It just turned out that the solution was the final solution, and it fucked over a lot of people. But they wanted solutions, and they fell for the fascist rhetoric of Adolf Hitler, and he made absolutely sure it wasn't good.
Or conservative neatly onto this spectrum. It doesn't map neatly onto this spectrum. There is a healthy, honest version of conservatism that I do think we need in society. I'll be going more in depth into that in a future video. A healthy conservatism, I think, is one that sees the value in maintaining some larger social structures, that knows that we do need cohesion and social stability, that also sees the value in having moral foundations of a culture and having a safe environment. There's a conservatism that sees those things as just as important as individual freedom. And in fact, I think that those things, when done well, support individual freedom. A productive conservative approach would say, how can we have individual rights and freedoms while also not destroying the culture of society, while also conserving a sense of social cohesion? What we don't want is a conservatism that throws out your individual rights altogether.
Conservatism, in my opinion, in and of itself, is inherently reactionary. Like conservatism, I mean, I guess I see where she's saying with it, but it's like conservatism emphasizes things like religious freedom, and one of those things that conservatism emphasizes in regards to religious freedom is the right to discriminate, which is one of the reasons why conservatism is basically just diet fascist. Like, there is no way to separate hatred from conservatism. It's just part of their ideology. That is just, I feel like they've, every step of the term, even every step of the way, even when conservatives were tamer like the 10 years ago when we were dealing with Obama's presidency. Even when conservatives were more civil and less reactionary pigs like they are now, they still fought against equality at every step of the way. There is absolutely no way to have conservatism without fighting against the rights of people who have previously been. It's one of the reasons why. Like, I can't, like, being that I'm myself am trans, my partner's trans, I have 2 black nephews and a black niece. My brother and his sister-in-law are Muslim. Like, we have a really diverse family here, and I cannot, I don't know. I just can't play nice with conservatives. I just can't. I mean, I'll have a discussion with them, but the one thing I refuse to have with them is a debate about human rights. We do not debate human rights on this channel. If I need to convince you that, like, a 10-year-old rape victim shouldn't be allowed to have an abortion, then I can't help you. Yeah, there's a duh position on that, and if you say that abortion should be prohibited in all cases, including rape and incest, and think that children are no exception, I can't help you there. You're just objectively a monster, and there is no talking to you, and you just need to be ostracized and forced into the shadows of society where you should never be allowed to show your face ever again. Like, that unironically how I feel. And it's like, I don't know. But I'm going on a soapbox about anti-conservatism. Let's let her finish.
It's for you. Not what we want. Undesirable. The issue with the current iteration of the Republican Party is that they are putting forward a platform that would dismantle the federal protections against private and state domination and would put in a system that allows for even more concentration of power into the hands of a few.
Wait.
Against private and state domination and would put in a system that allows for even more concentration of power into the hands of a few. Not to mention that the Supreme...
Is she suggesting that the state is going to end up losing their authority and it's going to go more and more to Trump? If that's what she's saying, that is utterly fucking terrifying. Like, I do not want to live in a state where my rights are solely dictated by the federal government. That is oh no.
Supreme Court basically just made the president into a king by allowing immunity for any actions that are done on the job. Yeah, break the law all you want, just make sure you do it on company time. We have one of the vice presidential candidates listening to thinkers that actually support monarchy. The founders of this country, flawed though they were, knew that monarchy was not compatible with liberty and justice for all. The idea...
Oh, and I would argue, we keep thinking, like, we keep talking about how the American Revolution was about religious freedom, and I said this too. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I think it was more an opposition to monarchy. They wanted something more democratic, where your leaders were held accountable, because only in a system like that could, like, religious freedom reign. Now, obviously, that was, like, their intention, but it wasn't, like, to liberate anybody in general. It wasn't freedom. It was just they wanted a different government structure. If it was really about liberation and freedom, then slaves, there had been no slaves, enough said. There'd be no bans on gay marriage. Like, if you have a uterus, you would have not been forced to, you would not have been lowered to second-class citizenship, minimized to that of a mere baby factory. So we basically need to refound this country. We need to, like, factory reset, build from the ground up. Just, like, take the Constitution, stick it in a shredder right from scratch.
By one man and not ruled by...
We, the people of the United States of America, we no take bullshit. You want to act like a dick? Get the fuck out. All are welcome, just don't act like a dick. There you go. The new U.S. Constitution, do we approve?
The rule of law is un-American. Again, that was the entire founding premise of this country, is that we're not doing kings no more. Sorry, boo. George Washington, our mythic hero, stepped down from office voluntarily and was like, I'm not going to be a king. I meant that, okay? We don't do kings. So it's worth mapping out what we've progressed from. What is on that autocracy end of the spectrum? Here we have systems that explicitly create and enforce inequality. At the extreme end, we have complete dictatorship, power totally concentrated in the hands of one man. Let's be real. Then you have kings and monarchy, where power is concentrated within one family. Fascism would be in this zone, and I'm putting it here because there is often a dictatorial leader within fascism, but fascism is really the politics of us against them. There's a master race that is the nation, the true Germans, the true Americans. They're the master race, and they want to have power and control over the structure of society. That social order has a strict gender and racial hierarchy where the race at the bottom is dehumanized and sometimes eliminated altogether. Then we have slavery. It's not a total control of society, but it is emphasizing the dehumanization of whatever.
Basically, in the fascist gender hierarchy, cis men, cis women, literally everybody else.
Race is enslaved. And then you have caste systems where, unlike slavery and fascism, you might not be explicitly dehumanizing the bottom rung of people, but there is a set social hierarchy where some people are explicitly on the top and some people are explicitly on the bottom. All of these systems are about creating and perpetuating inequality. They're systems where people do have total control over other people and where some people's humanity is explicitly valued more than other people's humanity. Now, the scariest thing about this present political moment in the US is that the rhetoric of the Republican Party is in this zone right now. Talking about immigrants as vermin, that is the dehumanizing language of fascism. Talking about being a dictator on day one, I mean, that's taking us to even before where the founders were, right? Like, the founders were like somewhere in here. They moved from the monarch to around here, and they called themselves sort of making progress, which, sure. But to take us back even further into autocracy than that is pretty wild. One of the most dangerous things happening now is the antagonizing of other Americans, fellow citizens. As Stanley says, the most telling symptom of fascist politics is division. It aims to separate a population into an us and a them. When I read this, it gave me much more understanding of what's going on right now. Listen to this. Fascist politicians justify their ideas by breaking down a common sense of history and creating a mythic past to support their vision for the present. They rewrite the population's shared understanding of reality by twisting the language of ideals through propaganda and promoting anti-intellectualism, attacking universities and educational systems that might challenge their ideas. Eventually, with these techniques, fascist politics creates a state of unreality where conspiracy theories and fake news replace reason to debate. As a common understanding of reality crumbles, fascist politics makes room for dangerous and false beliefs to take root. First, fascist ideology seeks to naturalize group difference, thereby giving an appearance of natural scientific support for a hierarchy of human worth.
Yep. So one of the things in which they try to support that is through things like race realism and gender critical ideology. Basically, with race realism, there is actual like skull shape differences, or like IQ. Like, black people have lower IQ, but like black men have bigger dicks, and like Asians are really good at math and they have a high IQ. It's a really convenient place it's really convenient to be able to set your stuff like that so that you can say that white people are between Asians and black people, because then you could say something along the lines of, well, I'm not racist. Asians are a totally other race, and I think they're superior to white people. Obviously, we know that that's full of shit, and we know that that's clown shit, and we know that it makes you look like a total and complete utter clown. Sorry, I said that word multiple times. I felt like it was only appropriate to have the sound effect. Let's hear that one more time. There we go. I feel satisfied. But it's like you can't, like, how the fuck are you, yeah, like, and then also in the case of, like, gender, they do the same thing. There's only man and woman, and anybody who deviates from that is the other. So transgender women, because they don't acknowledge cisgender woman, they just acknowledge woman. And so transgender woman is really just and let's face it, when they think trans people as predators, they really think of trans women. So this bitch. They don't think of trans men. You know why? Because if we went back to a Ben Shapiro video, you would have seen a trans man arguing for his own reproductive freedom, and you would have not guessed that that guy was trans. You would never guess that that guy had a hatch net between his crotch. You would have never fucking guessed. That guy was covered in facial hair. His arms were hairy. Just everything. Like, you would have never known. You would have never known. But the problem is testosterone is irreversible, and so it's so much easier to attack trans women. And the fight against puberty blockers is to make absolutely sure that it remains easy to identify trans women. Because if we go through our puberty, remember, testosterone is irreversible. And so, yeah, without puberty blockers, testosterone goes through. We develop our broad shoulders. We develop our facial hair. Our voice deepens, kind of similar to what you're hearing now. And it becomes a lot easier. It's not as simple for us to simply be invisible that they want us to fucking be. By invisible, they mean they want us to detransition. They don't want us to look like the gender we identify as. You know what I mean? So it's not about It's not about science. It's about discrimination and making absolutely sure there's one person on top and another person subservient to the, person above them.
When social rankings and divisions solidify, fear fills in for understanding between groups. Any progress for a minority group stokes feelings of victimhood among the dominant population. Law and order politics has mass appeal, casting us as lawful citizens, and them, by contrast, as lawless criminals whose behavior poses an existential threat to the manhood of the nation. Sexual anxiety is also typical of fascist politics, as the patriarchal hierarchy is threatened by growing gender equity.
Exactly. Like if you can't force people, if you can't force people to have your fucking kid anymore, then you think society is going to collapse. You think not getting laid is the end of the world. I'll tell you what, I didn't lose my virginity till I was 24 fucking years old. Did I lose it out of desperation? Yeah. You know where I went? Grindr. Slept with someone twice my age. Like, yeah, they were old enough to be my fucking mother. Not my mother, my father. Yeah. That was 6 years ago. Not proud of it. But you can do it. It's really easy. You don't have to fall to fascism. You really want to lose your virginity that bad. You know what I mean? It's not that difficult. Like, there's plenty of people who want to fuck you.
Okay, don't say we're exaggerating when we say this is fascism. Like, it's pretty obvious where this is going at this point. It's not good. It's not pretty. Even if your vote is against this more than it is for the other team, it's worth it to vote against this, okay? Okay, so we don't want to go backwards. This has been the direction of progress over time. And it's gone in this direction not because rights were granted out of benevolence to people, but because different classes and groups organized and agitated and fought and defended their rights over time. There are always going to be people who want to concentrate power in their own hands, so there always needs to be this push for progress and more equality. So then what should we be agitating for? Let's get to the part of the spectrum where we're actually creating equality.
And that's her segue into why your freedom depends on democracy. So there you have it. Bean thinking, yes, Trumpism is fascist politics. Really good channel. She's only got 1,000 followers. That's sad. She needs more. I'm gonna say that to her. Only 1K followers. You need more. Great content. But yeah, so I would say go subscribe to her. She's really good. And with that said, I think I'm gonna close off this this here segment. So if you liked what you seen, hit the like button, leave a comment, really helps. And feel free to share this stream with people whom you feel like might be a little receptive to the ideas of like a, understanding fascism, socialism, stuff like that. Like, share the message with them and join my Discord, support me on Patreon, subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitch. Think we're gonna have a nice discussion. I definitely plug my Discord a lot because it is where you'll get like the updates to my show when I'm going live, etc., etc. So with that, thank you for watching. Bye-bye. All right, I think I did that one pretty nicely. I don't think my viewer base is going to help. I've got like 18 people in a Pop-Tart who watch me on YouTube. So, but Non-Compete made a video. I think Non-Compete's a good oh, the Thinking Atheist also did some. Like, this is everywhere. Like, this is not small. This is big news of what's actually going on in this country. I think I'm gonna go ahead and upload that video, though. Let's see. I am so tired. Let's see. Yeah, so that's that. I am so goddamn tired today. Like, holy shit. It's a very sad time we're living in, guys. But I'm doing my best out here. Doing my best. Alan Lichtman. So let's see what this is about. I'm not sure. So Sarah Sharif's stepmom would not call 999, jury told. So this is in BBC. Father of 10-year-old Sarah Sharif told a court he gave his daughter CPR after she died and that his wife refused to call for an ambulance. Irfan Sharif said he came home on the evening of the 8th of August last year to find Bainash Batul sitting on the floor in the couple's bedroom holding Sarah. Police found Sarah's body with dozens of injuries at the family's home in Woking, Surrey 2 days later. Mr. Sharif, 40, like, what's going on? Is this like a... Like, are we doing child abuse here? Is that what this is? I don't usually talk about these kinds of subjects, but I'm already started. Police found Sarah's body with, Mr. Sharif, 42, Ms. Batul, 30, and Sarah's uncle, Faisal Malik, 29, have denied murder at the Old Bailey. Sarah's father said Ms. Batul told him the girl had fallen down the stairs while playing with another child and that now she was pretending, quote-unquote, and being dramatic. Mr. Sharif said he told Sarah to get up and took her arm, but it was limp. Then I took Sarah from Bainash's lap, he said. Sarah whispered and opened her mouth a bit. She said she is thirsty and she needs water. Mr. Sharif told the jury that he called for water and put Sarah on the bed, but his wife told him put her on the floor. I shouted for an ambulance because I could not hear her breathing. I checked her pulse under the ear. It was none. I had done my first aid training 2 times. So she was dealing with... So basically... I'm very curious. Do go on. What are we dealing with here? He said that he gave Sarah CPR more than 10 minutes, but Mr. Batul told him to stop. Mr. Sharif said that when he asked where the ambulance was, Ms. Batul replied, "There's no point, there's no need because she's dead." Mr. Sharif said he noted a red mark around Sarah's neck. And at this point, Ms. Batul told a second story claiming Sarah had been fighting with another child. So are we saying something like she was strangled? And Mr. Sharif replied, I was thinking about the other kids. They are going to be taken into care. The child is going to go to prison. That evening, Ms. Batul called a travel agent to start the process of booking flights for the whole family, apart from Sarah, to go to Pakistan, he said. They left the country the next day. So they went to Pakistan. So were they leaving to get, like, hours after Sarah had died? Ms. Batul also showed Mr. Sharif on her phone difference between murder and manslaughter, jurors heard. She is very good at Googling stuff, Mr. Sharif said. So there was a discussion as to whether Mr. Sharif or Mr. Malik should take the blame for Sarah's death. When police came to the house after Mr. Sharif had called them from Pakistan, there was a handwritten note by Sarah's body that read, "Whoever sees this note, it's me, Irfan Sharif, who killed my daughter by beating." So essentially, she left a confession note and then went back to Pakistan, where she will never be expedited back to serve the punishment for her crime. So I don't know what really to say about this. I thought this was going to be something about I guess reproductive rights or something, but it wasn't. It was about child abuse, which, mind you, child abuse is a very important subject, but it's like I don't like talking about stuff like that on this channel because it's such a personal subject to me, and it's like, but like I've not been able to get over some of the shit I've been through, so it's like I don't know. I guess I'll just end the segment here because I don't know. If I had known that it would have just been a segment about child abuse, I would have, I don't know. Do I want to abort uploading it, or do I want to upload it anyway? I think I'll upload it anyway. I'll just try not to run into another segment about child abuse again. It's just a really sensitive subject for me. Especially anything in regards to child sexual abuse, like that hits me way closer than I want it to. So I feel like Elon Musk should actually be forced to step down from Tesla. Trump's second term could reshape the Supreme Court. See what this is about.
On the Hill about the Supreme Court.
Hey,
Sahil, what are you hearing from Republicans?
Wait, let me start the segment. Okay. So basically, Trump's second term could reshape the Supreme Court. That is essentially what this video is starting to say. So that sounds way fun. Let's hear what they got to say.
Sahil, what are you hearing from Republicans on the Hill about the Supreme Court?
Hey, Chris, well, we know that confirming judges is going to be a high priority for this new Republican Senate majority. They will have at least 52 seats. They might pad that a little bit given some of the remaining races that are still too close to call that we haven't projected yet. But they only need a simple majority to confirm judges and justices. So they're not going to be able to, or rather Democrats are not going to be able to do anything to stop them. They'll have plenty of lower court vacancies to fill, but naturally there's a lot of attention being paid right now to the Supreme Court and this retirement rumor mill, specifically with Justice Clarence Thomas, who is 76, and Justice Samuel Alito, who is 74, the two most conservative members of that court.
Need
some
term
believe that they might see
limits
this moment as a
for
prime
Supreme
opportunity
Court
to retire and
justices
secure their seats in
with
conservative hands for another generation or
the
two.
years on
Numerous
that term
Republican senators
being
I've talked to say they
a
expect
single
at least one,
year.
if not two, Supreme Court vacancies in Trump's second term. If Trump gets two more Supreme Court vacancies to fill, he will have appointed 5 justices, Chris. That is a majority of the entire Supreme Court. No president since FDR has done that, and FDR needed 4 terms as president to do that before the 2-term limit was imposed. So who are conservatives watching the most closely? Take a look at what Mike Davis, a conservative legal advisor and a provocateur who's dialed into this world, told me, quote, "I imagine that Justice Alito will want to get the hell out of D.C. as quickly as possible."
Smile on their
unquote.
face as
What
if
criteria
they're
are
not
they going to use? Well, they'll certainly look to Trump's
disgusting,
first term. They'll want young and
sociopathic
conservative
piles
judges
of
and
dog
justices.
shit.
But Mr. Davis also says that Trump will look for judges who are, quote, even more bold and fearless. I asked what that means. He said it means judges who will follow the law and not care what the liberal media says about them. There are
By
also
following
some
the law,
potential
they of
wild
course
cards,
mean
Chris.
what Trump
Chief
says.
Justice John Roberts turns 70 in January.
Like,
Nobody
don't
really
be
knows
stupid.
what his plans are. He's known to care about the
understand what the fuck
reputation
is
of the
being
Supreme
said
Court,
here.
and he's no longer the swing vote. And then there are Democratic anxieties as well about liberal Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who is also 70 right now, within hours of NBC calling the presidential race. I got a text, an unsolicited text from one official in the Biden administration saying, quote, "Sonia Sotomayor needs to retire right now," unquote. The reason is they're anxious. They want Democrats to be able to confirm her while they still have power, that if she doesn't stay on the court for another 4 years, Trump could potentially extend that majority to 7-2. Chris.
Sahil, thank you so much for that.
So basically, what they're saying is, if she retired, like, go back, you little. Okay. So what they're saying is she's about to retire?
Right now, unquote. The reason is they're anxious. They want Democrats to be able to confirm her while they still have power, that if she doesn't stay on the court for another 4 years, Trump official in the Biden administration saying, quote, "Sonia Sotomayor needs to retire right now," unquote. The reason NBC calling the presidential race. I got a text, an unsolicited text from one official in the Biden administration saying, quote, "Sonia Sotomayor needs to retire right now," unquote. The reason is they're anxious. They want Democrats to be able to confirm her while they still have power, that if she doesn't stay on the court for another 4 years, Trump could potentially extend that majority to 7-2. Chris.
And how is retiring right now the solution to that? They want to confirm her, but it's like, okay, how are you going to confirm someone if they retire? What is she retiring from? Isn't she already a Supreme Court judge? Like, I'm so fucking confused. But anyway, yeah, so there you have it, guys. That's what they want to do to us. And they want to be extra dirty, extra gross about it.
President-elect Donald Trump's return to the White House puts him once again in a position to influence the makeup of the Supreme Court, the effects of which could be felt for decades. Trump appointed 3 justices during his first term: Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, and Amy Coney Barrett. Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, the oldest conservative justices at 76 and 74 respectively, could retire, allowing Trump to nominate younger lifetime replacements. CBS News legal contributor and Loyola Law School professor Jessica Levinson joins us now. Jessica, how likely is it that Thomas or Alito will step down, and when could that happen?
I think it's not at all outside the realm of possibility. Now, of course, we don't know exactly when, and we know that Supreme Court justices have those positions until they no longer want those positions or until they pass away. But I think that it is, again, maybe more likely than not that we could see at least one vacancy. And for those people saying, well, look at the 2 people on the screen here, Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito, they're both conservative votes. What difference would it make to appoint another conservative jurist? The answer is really that Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito cannot serve another 30 years on the bench, but whoever replaces them may absolutely be able to do so. And so we're
Yep.
looking.
Basically, the only way forward is to not pack the courts, but establish term limits. Like after a certain time, you're out, bitch.
Here at not necessarily a shift in terms of ideology.
Maybe make it so
but
that we don't actually have to fucking wonder whether or not our fascist tyrannical leader is gonna end up appointing douchebags. Maybe we should actually be voting for our dipshits. You know, there's a thought. Like maybe we should actually be making sure that the people who end up in the Supreme Court are actually held accountable to us. Because there's nothing more frustrating than when they do something like abolish Roe v. Wade against the will of the majority of Americans, and then there's just nothing that can be done about it. It's so infuriating, and the whole purpose of America is to be able to hold our leaders accountable. How the fuck are you able to hold justice accountable? You can't. There's no way to fire them. So... But we're not going to end up with anything to fix that for the next 4 years. Like I said, America, y'all can deal with that shit. I have a shit ton of money. I am getting the fuck out of here. Got my passport coming in the mail in a couple of months. And then I'm just waiting for that final sign that it is time to get the hell out of here. And that is when it becomes illegal to be trans. It becomes illegal for me and my partner to get married. Gender affirming care is banned. Tariffs, blah, blah, blah. Contraception, blah, blah, blah. You get the picture.
Of that 6-3 majority, or frankly, perhaps a 7-2 majority. It's
y'all want to deal with that shit? You do you, boo.
But we're basically trying to game out who wants to stay and whether or not somebody would create a vacancy not voluntarily.
So let's pull on that thread a little bit. Would that essentially solidify the Dobbs decision for a generation?
I think it would. I mean, I think that decision is arguably solidified for the short term anyway, and maybe the medium term, in the sense that let's face it.
It's also going to be the case in the long term too. Democrats ain't going to do shit. They're shifting to the right on trans issues, and they like incredibly fascistic when it comes to like you know the war in Israel, you know, in Gaza. They've also turned right on immigration issues. Democrats ain't gonna fucking do shit. Roe v. Wade is overturned. Okay, boo fucking who? They can still codify it. They still have plenty of time. They gonna do it? Nope. Because they're frauds. They're hucksters. They say all this stuff about social policy and then they never want to do anything about it. Don't even get me started on the fact that they're fucking liberal ass motherfuckers that are corporate as fuck. They want to just defend the liberal, the enlightened liberal fucking capitalist system that we're all subject to on a daily basis. No, they want to like kowtow to the left and saying, oh, we support you, we support diversity, equity, inclusion, and we support like you know, transgender people, and it's like you couldn't even bother to fucking stop turning fucking right on various different social issues. Why should we fucking believe you? Trump was literally the easiest person you could beat. Kamala ran a great campaign. But the problem is it wasn't good enough. There were so many ways in which she fucked up. I keep dunking on the person that accused me of supporting genocide for voting for Kamala. Like, I think it's a fun classic on the show. But let's be real. I do actually feel where they're coming from. Because there have been so many talks with Kamala before the election. Like, yo, you got to stop supporting Israel. You got to come out in favor of at least a weapons embargo. Like, you got to do something. Israel is slaughtering the people over there. And her response was, I'm talking. And I knew it was going to be a problem. I knew it was going to be a problem. As soon as she came out, like, I was all excited, like, oh my god, I'm getting fucking horny listening to her goddamn speech. Like, it is everything. It is fucking working class. It is fucking, like, freedom for LGBT people, freedom, like, reproductive care, everything. Like, I'm getting fucking politically horny listening to this shit. Like, I'm like, and then she said that shit about Palestine. And I'm like, oh, god damn it. Fuck, man. And I knew that there was a chance that we were probably going to end up losing her because of the fact that Palestine's the hot button issue right now. Nobody wants a goddamn genocide. But unfortunately, I also do have to emphasize that, let's see, what was I going to say? I'm blacking out again. In terms of, like, supporting... I don't remember where the fuck I was going with that. Why do I always do this to myself? Basically, Harris could have done way, way better. Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Essentially, even though Palestine was one of the hot button issues at the time, because Israel was literally committing a genocide... people, here I go again, forgetting my fucking train of thought. Even though, right. Voting counts, okay, Michaela. Voting counts, tackling it on, probably not. Anyway, it still wouldn't have been equal. Trump would have fucking won. Because when you take on all the third-party votes and you add them onto Harris's result, it would have been outside the margin of error. We went over this earlier in the stream. I can't believe it took me fucking ever to try to get that out of my head. Ugh. I legit hate having ADHD. I wanted to get back on Vyvanse or maybe try Disoxin or something else, but I don't know. I don't think that's ever going to happen. I'm always going to be this fucking easily distracted. But anyway, I'm gonna think I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, so I'm gonna go ahead and probably kill the segment right here. Not the segment, but the stream right here. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the stream, please like and share. Follow me on Twitch, subscribe to me on YouTube, join my Discord. We got an amazing community we're building. Lots of great people subscribing to Leftist Viewpoints. Thank you for watching my show. Consider supporting me on Patreon. It'll make me less susceptible in situations like this where I break my arm to not having a paycheck from my job, and really prevents me from worrying about whether or not I'm going to be broke in the future if I can't get back to work. So thank you for supporting me on Patreon. And with that, I bid you good day. We love you, and you are amazing. Bye. Alright guys, it's time to go into the credit sequence, so thank you for watching my show, and we'll see you probably tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's Thursday. No, tomorrow's Saturday. Yep, so we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Bye.